talk about 5 takeaways from the Arizona Cardinal win for the Lions. And the majority of them is probably going to be offense. So check out Detroit Lions playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. All the links in the link tree. The biggest takeaway, or let's just say the first takeaway I noticed was, they didn't try to outsmart themselves no more. They ran the ball. They got back to their identity, and they ran the ball. That's what they need to do. They need to get back to their identity and run the football. And when they got back to their identity and ran the football, things started to become open. St. Brown got open. Laporta started to get open. They oppose their will, and that's who they are. They are a physical football team. And in my opinion, you can't be a physical football team with your big uglies up front, always on their back foot, always on their tippy toes. It's a mentality. Going forward and imposing your will, it pay dividends. They like body shots in boxing. They're not pretty. You're accumulating them up. They're not pretty, but next thing you know, the opponent's legs can't move no more. He's stationary. His mouth open. His mouthpiece falling out. And now he is sitting duck. No matter how much will and heart he got, you done took his core, you done took his legs. And guess what? Now you can do whatever you want to do. You got him on the ropes. You can throw Hail Marys, you can throw crossing routes, you can throw comeback routes. It's your world. He's at your mercy. And them running the football, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So, but that's what I took away. They wasn't too, they didn't outsmart themselves. That's what I loved about it. They didn't outsmart themselves. That's what I loved about it. They didn't outsmart themselves. They didn't outsmart themselves. So running that football, it's going to open up a lot for them going forward. They had a little bit more success in the red zone. So, before I really paid attention to was Jared Goff was a lot more efficient when he ran the football. He was a lot more accurate. He had a lot more time. He looked like a better quarterback. Everything fell into place. His throwing mechanics was better. That play action brought him more time, or just a threat of the run. He was able to step up in the pocket. He was able to do what he wanted to do. He looked like a more functional quarterback. Now, did he still make a nasty turnover? Yeah, he still made a nasty turnover. I think it was over the middle again. And that's something that he got to fix. You got to read that coverage. You got to watch that tape. That edge linebacker, that usually he coming. No, did he? He drive back into that window. They got you. So, got to watch it. That's one thing. I think he might have been in shotgun for that. I could be wrong. But he could have been in shotgun. When you're in shotgun, the thing about why most coaches don't like shotgun, especially old school coaches, Tom Landry, Vince Lombardi, and all them, is because when they snap the ball, when you snap the back football, you got to look down. You got to look down. You got to look down. When you take it from under center, you can see the defense. So you go from under center, guess what? He probably would have seen that linebacker drop because his eyes are still on the defense. When you on shotgun, you snap it, you looking for the ball. As soon as you look down, guess what? That linebacker gonna drop back into that spot. And when you look back up, even for a split second, you look down, 2-3 seconds, you look up, the defense can move. So that's the great thing about that's the bad thing about shotgun is that you got to take your eye off the defense. You know, you got to take your eye off the defense. That's the bad thing about it. You got to take your eye off the defense. So, but he looked sharper. He looked more comfortable when they ran the ball. He looked good. Third thing I really noticed was the defense. The defense made an adjustment from the earlier drives. They made big adjustments. You know, they made hellified adjustments. You know, they made sure they kept Kyler in the pocket. You know, they pressured him up the middle. You know, they changed how they was playing Marvin Harrison Jr. They played how they was playing, was it Michael Wilson? They made hell of adjustments. They shut their run down. They shut Kyler Murray, his run down. They kept him in the pocket. And they made him make uncharacteristic plays. They made it real uncomfortable for him. So he started taking desperation shots to Marvin Harrison Jr. He started force-feeding receivers. He started throwing up 50-50 balls. And our DBs made plays. So Aaron Glenn made a great adjustments. They made tackles. They tackling a lot better. So now you seen, you know, they coming down in the box. And, you know, they making tackles. You know? And the defense, you know, is starting to find a rhythm. They find continuity. And Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph has got a lot of continuity going. They got a good rhythm going with each other. They building a lot of camaraderie. They're playing very, very well together. They're playing very, very well together, and you know, they playing at a high level. They playing at a high level. So shouldn't shock nobody. For real. It shouldn't. But he's tackling better. You know, they learn each other better. The gap discipline is good. The run defense has been good. You know, and they defensive backs is being the defensive backs is being the difference. They're making plays in the box. They're making plays tackling. They're making plays with the ball in the air. So their ball skills are turning out to be pretty much A1. So, you know, so for the most part, that's what they was asking for guys to get their head around. And a second takeaway from me, man, it might shock some people. I didn't know Sam Laporta had a hamstring injury. So yeah, I didn't know Sam Laporta had a hamstring injury. You know, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So that kind of understood them not spotlighting him. He pretty much was a decoy. And, you know, obviously before he got the ankle sprain last week, he was more, you know, they started hitting him. They started going to him. He started making plays. He started to seem like himself, and then he had the ankle injury. So, you know, they may need to shut down Sam Laporta for a couple weeks and let him get his hamstring and his ankle together. You know, they may need to allow him to get his hamstrings and ankles together. So that might for some reason I just hate loud cars. But for whatever reason it may be, I didn't know. So for looking at him, that opposite receiver is even more obvious in my opinion. That opposite receiver is even more. You need more from that receiver, because Sam Laporta ain't being your number 1 or 2 option right now because he's physically unable to do so. So they probably needed to kind of shut Sam Laporta down, to be real. Put him out for 2 or 3 weeks and then, you know, roll. Let him heal up. But yeah, Laporta, like, really right there is J-Mo and his Amara in the run game. And that's good enough to pull you over for a while. But to my number 1 takeaway, might be a shocker to some, may not be a shocker to some. But it's time it's time to move Khalif Raymond to the number 4 receiver, because in reality, what's going on is this. And the reality, what's going on is this. Khalif Raymond is he's the opposite outside receiver in those formations. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown been playing on the outside a lot more this season because they don't have a Josh Reynolds. And he's still proven to be effective the last 2 weeks. But Khalif Raymond in general is just a bad decoy out there. They know he probably the 3rd or 4th option in most passing plays. So they really don't have to guard him. So it's just to the point where it's hampering the defense when you don't have Sam Laporta. You don't have Sam Laporta, playing at 100%. So J-Mo, St. Brown is really your main options. And Laporta is just a decoy. And Khalif Raymond is a really, really poor decoy at this point. So it's time for them to really probably, and I know they got one more week they can call up Tim Patrick for the practice squad before they can sign him. But with Marcus Davenport probably going on IR for the season, which is not a shocker. He's never been healthy his whole career, damn near. That's why I didn't like to sign him, regardless of Minnesota's paying the majority of salary. It's time to sign Tim Patrick to the squad, to the regular 53-man roster. Let him have those reps on the outside. Move Khalif to the 4th receiver. It's time. It's time. It's time. It is time. No more bull jobbing around. It's time. Yeah, it's time. So, that's what they need to do. Because it's hurting the offense because they don't really have to guard. They don't have to guard a receiver. And then you got another guy out there you got 2 decoys out there the majority of the time. You got 2 decoys out there the majority of the time. Two. You got Sam Laporta, that's injured, decoy, and Khalif Raymond, a decoy that you ain't even got to respect. So at this point, you might as well throw Tim Patrick out there. He seemed like he learned the playbook pretty well. It seemed like him and old buddy Jared Goff, that out route seemed pretty good. You might as well just put him out there. Because Khalif Raymond is not doing nothing. Other than an occasional end around, he's not really doing nothing. So, that's my opinion on it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications for the live drop video. Hit the link tree, X, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Check out your trade lines, top players, run videos like this. Peace.